Robbie Williams Rewind.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award winning singer, songwriter and entertainer, Robbie Williams.
We're going to look at all of Robbie's music, album by album, B-side by B-side, tour by tour, looking at our favourite lyrics and memories of the past 25 years. We'll have a guest fan to join us each episode, who'll join in the commentary and also talk about why they love Robbie and their best memories. I became a Robbie fan in 1992 when I first saw Take That perform at a local radio roadshow in Bournemouth. My friend dragged me along. I was a New Kids on the Block fan, and I was steadfastly refusing to Take That because that would have been going against being a New Kids fan.
Oh, I see.
But she wanted to go and see Take That, so I went with her. And then as soon as I saw them, and especially Robbie, I was hooked.
Mm-hmm. Why, Lucy?
Why? Because he's a very good-looking man.
Yeah, I saw Robbie in Glastonbury in 1998, and he was on the main stage. And the Glasgow crowd really warmed to him. And it was an incredible performance. I think it was one of the only ones that was actually not raining.
You're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind.
I'm really excited to be developing this with Lucy, my wife, and bringing this to fans and anybody that likes Robbie or anybody that wants to learn a bit more about how Robbie's been so successful over the years, the ups and the downs, and also to bring in guest fans to hear their perspectives as well and their stories. So yeah, really hope that people enjoy it and learn something new and find it fun and interesting. And yeah, bring a little bit more Robbie world into your lives.
It was an epic gig. It was a very big gig for me, a marker in the sand, something where my career is concerned is very important.
Oh yeah.
And I was past that place knowing that something special happened that evening. I didn't realize until I go back there and did those couple of gigs. It's the venue itself that makes things extra special.
Mm.
There's there's a magic in the walls.
Yeah.
And I think I'm built for the Albert Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I didn't realize that you're actually performing with a building, which I found quite interesting. That was the takeaway from my last couple of gigs there that were really special.
He got in, shut the door. I had I was half on his lap, half on the gear stick. And the thing I vividly recall about it was I couldn't really look at him because I was practically on his lap.
Yeah. He said he wrote it at the train station in Stoke, waiting to go back to London to pack all his stuff to move back in with his mum in Stoke. He said he had a coffee, he was waiting for the train, and he was scared about going down to London and packing his stuff up. So looking at the lines of the song, I think, you're going to have to leave to a place where you can breathe, and there's no reprieve. There'll be tears on leaving, but there won't be any grieving, because a city soon forgets. There'll be the same old faces in the same old places where my youth was well misspent.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions. And you're more than this, I suppose, is Ida's love towards me. You're more than this. You're better at life than you've been letting on. And I don't know why. You're more than this. You are what it is. The world is at your fingertips. And there's more than this. It's that, delving into the archives of not being able to find joy. And there being people there that are a life raft that want you to be well.
Yeah.
That's what that song is.
The album was produced by Steve Power and Guy Chambers. We all know Guy now, most of us fans do. But at the time, Robbie said that he picked his name off a list that had been shown to him, a list of possible collaborators. His mum's boyfriend at the time had mentioned the band The Lemon Trees a few times, and when he saw Guy's name from The Lemon Trees on the list, he took it as a sign. So there you go. Didn't do any research.
I know.
That's true. That was a very good sign.
Steve Power, the producer, has worked with Blur, Busted, Andrea Bocelli, McFly, Kylie, James, Diana Ross, The Bangles, and Billy Ocean. Wow. And after working on Babylon Zoo's Spaceman and Baby Bird's You're Gorgeous, Guy asked Steve to produce Live Through a Lens. He was a long-standing friend of Steve's, and he went on to produce I've Been Expecting You, Sing When You're Winning, Swing When You're Winning, and Escapology.
So the album initially hit number 11, then went to number 29, and then left the top 40 in the UK. So that was its first 3 weeks. It only re-entered the top 40 2 weeks after Angels was released. And then after Angels, Live Through a Lens was in the UK top 10 for 40 weeks and spent 66 weeks in the top 40. It stayed in the top 75 for 108 weeks. That's 2 years. That's over 2 years.
Goodness me.
From the 7th of December 1997 to the 27th of December 1999. I mean, that is incredible. The album finally reached number 1 in the UK on the 12th of April 1998, 5 months after release, and was eventually certified 8 times platinum in the UK, 3 times platinum in Europe, gold in Australia, the Netherlands and Switzerland. Although it only peaked at number 13 in Belgium, 6 in Ireland, and only number 42 in Germany. It went on to sell 4 million copies worldwide, 2.4 million in the UK, 3 million in Europe total. In the end of year 1997 chart in the UK, it was only number 96, but it became the 4th best-selling album of 1998, selling 1.241 million copies that year alone. It was still in the UK charts in 1999, becoming the 33rd best-selling album of that year. So that's longevity.
Any favourite parts of that song?
She had a curry stain that was down her cardi, but her teeth were clean, so I said smartly.
I love that line so much. You thought you'd leave me falling forever. Karma killer.
Wow.
It's so
Pretty
angry, isn't it?
Such venom and hatred.
Yeah.
And the Christmas present has been busted out in the house. We've got a tree in the bedroom, and me and the kids and Ida decorate the tree together, and the Christmas present was on in the background. Ida she looked at me, she said, "Are you all right?" Because she was talking to me and I didn't even know she was talking to me, because I was just lost in the music that was going on, listening to, is this right? I was, yeah. I don't like, yeah. So the Christmas present will be a staple in the Williams house for the rest of my life at Christmas. And it's, it's a wonderful, wonderful tool to have.
He said to Sky One, "I'm really scared that it's now me on top of the bill. It's sacrilege that the Happy Mondays are on before me. I didn't mean to get this big. I was only joking." Yeah, right.
Bless him. One of your tribute artists, Tony Lewis, said that if you walked into one of his gigs, it would stop him in his tracks. So he'd like to know who would stop you in your tracks if they walked into your gig.
Who would stop? Hi, Tone. Who would stop me in my tracks if they walked into? No one really, because I love there being somebody in that's somebody that I admire that's in the same industry.
Yeah,
I like showing off for them. Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So, Sing When You're Winning was released on the 28th of August 2000. It was produced by Guy and Steve Powers, and is his 4th best-selling album in the UK as well as globally, selling 6 million copies worldwide. It went 2 times platinum in the first week alone in the UK, selling 313,000 copies, and it stayed at number 1 for 3 weeks, remained in the top 10 for 20 weeks, and the top 40 for 46 weeks, and went on to become 8 times platinum, selling 2.2 million copies by 2019. And it was number 2 in the year-end chart of 2000, beaten by the Beatles 1 compilation. It was also number 32 in the year-end chart of 2001.
Wow. Longevity again. His album.
Amazing. Sing When You're Winning has sold 4 million copies in Europe, achieving 4 times platinum status. It went 11 times platinum in Ireland, 7 times in New Zealand, 3 times in Australia. It was also platinum in, wait for it, Belgium, Denmark, Italy, Netherlands, Switzerland, Taiwan, silver in Chile, gold in Argentina, Mexico, Austria, Finland, France, Norway, Spain, Sweden, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Thailand, Hong Kong, and Canada. Wow. That's a lot of countries.
Yeah, very successful. So it reached number 1 in Germany, Ireland, and New Zealand. It was number 2 in Switzerland, 3 in Holland, 4 in Austria and Sweden, 5 in Denmark, Italy, and Norway. And as Paul said, it even got to number 110 in the USA. Rob said at the time, "I want to beat what I did on the last album. With Life Through a Lens, Guy and I were just finding out what each other could do. I've been expecting you, we progressed to something that was better than the first. And now this one's just gone to a different plateau. There's a lot more grown-up stuff on this. Every track is a solid track on this album. I want people to think, oh, he's getting there, isn't he? You know? I want them to have a good time, be sad, be in different moods."
Compassion, inclusion, forgiveness made progress, but bare-assed up that tree goes too far. Just kidding, you know I love it. Join me, American Paul, with hosts Matt and Lucy Champion for the Sing When You're Winning episode of Robbie Williams Rewind. Here's my physical album, To Paul, Love Olivia. To Paul, Love Pet Shop Boys. Here's my Sing When You're Winning album. And here's my Sharpie. Enjoy part 2 of the Sing When You're Winning episode of Robbie Williams Rewind.
Oh, I have to hear the piano there. I have to hear the guitar there. I have to hear Rob saying that word there. And I can't just hear it. I have to stop what I'm doing and really hear it.
Right.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So good.
On every tour, I always bring my Grandad Joe's lucky cap with me.
Yeah.
And it's a tartan cap.
Yes.
So on the swing tour, you know, I was doing my usual, dancing away with my cap on, and he was like, asked for the hat. He like signed for me to throw him the hat. So I took my hat off, I threw the cap up at him, and then he wore it for a song.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was like, that's my Grandad Joe's cap. Anyway, so it was there and whatever, it was tiled over. And then years later, my mom was getting decorating done again, and the guy who's doing it for her came running down to her in the kitchen and said, "Come and look at this. There's something written on the wall. We don't know how long that's been there for." And she was reading it, and then it kind of came back to her. I'm sure she thinks I'm nuts, but probably am.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, looking out for the people that we were with.
Yeah.
So we would have probably gone slightly closer, but we had a really great view from there.
Although being short and having lots of people in front of me, I didn't have the best view. So I don't know if Matt remembers this, but he actually made me a step.
Out of rubbish.
Out of a rubbish bag.
I do remember that. This happened at more than one gig. Aren't I nice?
That's brilliant.
A step out of rubbish. I mean, how romantic does
that.
it get?
So I watched Nebworth stood on a pile of rubbish.
I mean, to be fair, most of us did anyway
Yeah.
by the time.
Yeah.
Especially by the Sunday, it was.
Oh, I can imagine.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Hey, Perez Hilton, welcome to the Robbie Williams Rewind Podcast. Thank you for joining us.
I'm very happy to be here. As soon as I heard Robbie, I loved it. I'm like, I love music, and he makes great music. Yeah. It's as simple as that. He's a people pleaser, and I think that's why people keep going to see him, because I need to go to Vegas again. I mean, I'm so tempted to go to the UK. And
he says about monsters in Please Please as well,
he
about
does.
the monsters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's going through a bit of a phase about monsters.
Yes. I mean, the other thing I would say is he can't live in his basement because he never had that basement dug by hand in his London house. So there isn't a basement to live in. It may be an attic. Fans will get that reference.
I'm going to dig a big hole. I'm going to fill it with shit that I don't need. So Stephen Duffy lists about 5 guitars or something for this song, and then it says wine glass.
Brilliant. Love it.
Because you can play notes on.
Well, I wondered if
glass,
it was
can't
like
you?
when they touched the room, made that
Yeah,
kind of funny
go,
sound.
put your finger, go. Yeah, I think that is what it is.
It was such a great time for me that I didn't even notice anybody else.
Oh, you weren't paying attention to anything else. Fair enough.
Of course. It was such a big experience for me. I was quite young at the time. I was 22, so I had to focus. Right. It was this amazing thing. It was like a World Cup final for me. Let's call it that way.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, some of the tongue twisters. I'm going to see if I can do them.
Oh, let's hear it. Come on then.
Okay. I think with my ding-a-ling-a-ling, can't sing, can't speak, ting-tongs, tong-ting, I'm popping. Wing-chang with the ching-ching, ting-tongs, tong-ting. Two-two for the two-ting-tong, ting-two, staunting, twos-two, luking, fruiting, sleuthing. I'll never make a rapper.
Lucy, that's brilliant.
Very good.
I mean, the thing is, you sound so eloquent, whereas Robbie's Stoke accent sounds a little bit different.
A bit better.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
And it's Dickhead.
Yes.
Dickhead.
Shout out to my mate Kuba, who is a massive fan of the song and was with me, and he would be like, can we play the last song of the album? And we used to sit in the car when he came over the weekend and blast it in the car on the CD player. We'd just loop it and just shout Dickhead all the time.
Oh, he'd give me an hug. He's like, how you doing? Then we spoke about the Everett Entertainment Show, and he was asking about my favourite songs from my art. And then speaking about the Troxy, and he was like, which one was the Troxy? Like, that Lifetime Achievement thing you got. Yeah. Which, kind of sees what kind of headspace he's in at times.
And there was a little interesting fact that Robbie gave about the location. So one of the locations, they were at Chatsworth in California, which he said was the home of the porn industry.
Oh.
And Rob seemed to take great delight in telling that fact to Gaz Barlow.
I entered a competition for the Daily Record newspaper, and so I texted it, but I didn't just text once. I text 50 times. Wow. 50 times.
Oh, 50?
50
oh my God.
times, yes. I text 50.
Did you have to pay for each
yes,
one?
Yes. £2.50, I go, £2.50 a text. But it was worth every penny.
Of course, because you won.
Just the chorus. And this guy says, I'll go first, next to me. And I was like, all right, calm down. Yeah. He pulls out this little, his phone, and it had a little piano on it. And he, ding, 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 me, 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 me. And I went, fuck. What am I going to do?
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
My wife appeared at the door, looking in quite an agitated state.
Crying.
So I made my excuses and left. And she said, "Oh, we've won. What?
The lottery?
No, no. We got outside in the street, and vividly to this day, she said to me, "I know just how those people who win the lottery feel like."
Well, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That's how I felt.
I just had a little run with, I'd had Spaceman as a hit for Babylon Zoo.
Yeah.
And I'd had 4 top 10s with Baby Bird.
Yeah.
Including You're Gorgeous. And Guy came to me and said, "Oh, I've been asked to write with this Robbie Williams book. Do you fancy, helping me out with it, share the production?" I couldn't believe it, really. I mean, I do know that, you see, Angels, I noticed that I never got tired of, whenever we were working on it, whenever I was mixing it, I never, ever got tired of it. It just seemed to get better and better.
So She's the One comes on, and he starts off, and I think any minute now he's going to say Sarah, And
he came our way.
And he came out and he looked and he sort of clocked us.
It was coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. Gosh, the class. Alan! I just...
Gary, one of you get Stokey. And I was like, oh. So as you do at concerts, you'd usually pulled over the barrier. So I'm like ready to hoik over the barrier.
Yeah.
And he's like,
did they not
just go that way?
Well, because it was so small.
Yeah. So I walked
You're
down.
halfway over.
Yeah.
I guess what happened was that Rob was asked to do the end titles for Bridget Jones' Diary.
Yeah.
And it was a really, he was very thrilled about the whole experience of doing a swing track with a big band. And then I got a call pretty much out of the blue saying he wants to do a whole album of that. Can you come into the office for a meeting? So...
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
But for some reason, they showed the Knebworth show over and over. And that was back when you had to record it with your, VHS tape.
Yeah.
And I was entranced. It was like, that's that guy. Oh my gosh.
Actually, the most and best moment was on Hyde Park when he was singing He's the One instead of She's the One.
Yeah, that was cool.
I start to cry when I'm seeing this. I don't know why it's so emotional.
Yeah, he dedicated the song to you, didn't he?
Yeah.
At the
picked
beginning.
me up, chose me from the audience, said, it's for you.
You might know them as Soul Mechanic or Central Midfield. They're credited with co-writing nearly 40 songs between them in Robbie's back catalogue, including Rock DJ, Rude Box, Soul Transmission, Soda Pop, and Rudolph. We are, of course, talking about the brothers Kelvin Andrews, Rich Scott, and Danny Spencer, otherwise known as Danny Mechanic.
You were DJing that night.
Was I?
You were the warm-up act. And Danny was just a member of the audience. Danny came up for moral support because I think it was about the third gig or the second gig. And Rob turned up at that gig and came up to Danny, so if he remembers this, and said, I've got all your records, I followed your career. And he just joined Take That at that point.
Right.
Any hits.
I do remember that now, actually. That's weird.
And that's how it started. So
the police came, and they went, passports. Right. So I was like, I haven't got mine.
Mine was in my hand.
So Kelly goes, here you are. And
no, I didn't. It was in my hand.
So they took Kelly's name. She was arrested almost.
Oh my God.
Passports. I'm like, I have no passport.
Because my chair was out.
No passport. So Kelly got arrested in Wrocław.
You can't put your chair out.
Yeah,
because he wore it. I wanted it back.
Yeah.
So the show carried on, and then sort of he was on stage then with Take That and everything. And all the way through the show, there was like a bit of banter going on. Because I was like, where's my flag? And he was like, I don't know. And it was like, well, I want it back. And he was like, oh, you bloody nuts and sort of thing, you know, all the way through, you know. So that was like really nice.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Well, and combined with a trip to Australia as well, that must have been quite something.
Yeah, because that was on his bucket list and I've always said, no, we can't do Australia. Oh, Robbie's going. Do you want to do Australia?
Suddenly everything's possible with Robbie.
Yeah, along with Vegas. No, we can never go to Vegas. Oh, would you like to go to Vegas twice in 2 months?
And they're like, yeah, no, you've got the gig. And I'm like... So it was about there was 2 pretty full days of just screaming, which was very tiring, as you can imagine, if you're going all guns blazing every single take after take.
Yeah.
It was really awesome, and obviously we got to do the filming during the show as well. This was the first show, and it was so like, it was just such a pinch yourself moment for me, because I'm like, I'm here, my first film TV gig is Robbie, and I'm here, and
huge laugh and a cheer, and the song is nearly ended by that point, and I'm up in the rafters waiting to come down to start the show. It gets a huge reaction, and it means a lot to me because I've already started interacting with the audience, even though I'm up there.
I love this song.
Yeah. You bloody love it on the notes.
I bloody love it.
Bloody love it.
It's hilarious.
It is. Only Rob could do something like this.
Yeah.
No one could ever think of something like this.
Exactly.
Oh, when we first heard it, I mean, it would have been on the tour, wouldn't it?
It was the dress rehearsal.
Because it wasn't. It wasn't sneaked out before anything, was it?
No.
The dress rehearsal.
Only Rob could do something like that.
Laughing our heads off.
It really makes you laugh.
We were ending our day. It was after a show, actually, and Regine was a smoker, and you can smoke in Vegas in the casinos in certain areas. And she had stopped to have an evening smoke, and I was just standing there, and someone came up from behind and grabbed my shoulders. And as you do, you kind of swat that person. I'm like, what on earth? And then there was this big chuckle, and I turned around, and there he was with Ida and a couple other people. And he was laughing and hugged me, and we hugged each other. And I said what I usually say, things like, well, I guess they let anybody in here, or what are you doing here, or something stupid like that.
And I know that Lisa has got a very special memory. Do you want to tell us about that?
Very, very special memory.
Well, we're all queuing, as you know. Loads of us in the queue. And I just thought everyone was a bit miserable looking, and I wanted to cheer everyone up. Yeah. So I said to my friends, oh, wouldn't it be great if someone went in the Morrison's petrol station on the tannoy and started singing Robbie songs? They're like, go on then. I was like, okay, I will. So I went over and sang on the tannoy. So everyone heard, and it was really loud. Good People and Angels.
Classic. And I just caught the end of it, I think. I think I got down there in time to sing along.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
I wondered, the red-suited, bearded fat man is on his way. Is it PC to call Father Christmas fat?
Not anymore.
No, I didn't think it was.
No.
Don't body shame Santa.
No.
He's just horizontally challenged.
Is that what you call it?
I don't know. That's even worse, isn't it? Yeah, no body shaming Santa. Santa can do what he wants.
But it's a funky kind of song, and I like the bass and the sound of the instruments. It's quite jazzy. Yeah. And in the instruments it says there's a vibraphone, which is like a xylophone, and Celeste, which is like an organ. And they're both played by Scott Ralph, who wrote the song.
about Rob pretending to do his thing in the kitchen. I mean, pretending is definitely that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do I peel this orange thing? What is this? But you know, Caroline, it really reminds me of a champion Christmas. Lucy and I often dance around the living room, looking lovingly into each other's eyes.
With your golden bathrobes.
Exactly. You know?
Yeah,
soft focus, lovely music playing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's just like one of our Christmas.
Yeah. And the dog's winking. Yeah, it's different. It's different in England, I think, because in Austria we celebrate on the 24th in the evening. So the presents are all done.
Right, yes.
The 25th you can sleep.
He then heard a track I had out at the time, which was called All My Friends Are Lonely, which he really loved. And said that he'd like to try writing together. And I guess COVID kind of created this vacuum that allowed that to happen. So I think there's, I maybe didn't give credit to the circumstances at the time, but it was a very unusual circumstance. He was locked down in the apartment on his own because he'd come off tour. I was largely locked down in the apartment on my own. So there was this vacuum of time, and we got on very well. We started sharing lots of influences, and it took a little while to get going, but then as soon as we did one track, it got very exciting very quickly, and Rob got very excited and said that he hadn't been inspired to write for a very long time. Well, he warned me actually before we began writing. It's like, I haven't been inspired to write for a long time, but when the time's right, I'd love to try doing something. And we did this one track, and it happened very quickly. And then after that, facilitated by the big vacuum of time we had, we did loads in very quick succession, all online.
Really hope we'll get to hear it live again.
Yeah, so do I.
Because last time we heard it live, I think it was in a Take the Crown tour. I remember at Wembley where it had his guitar. It was towards the end of the show. It didn't even sing it, in full length. He only did like a verse of it. And I remember I went to the Saturday show at Wembley, and in the lyrics when he says, "That's all gone to waste, it's Saturday," it's like, it is Saturday. Yeah, he was so happy about the fact that it was Saturday and that he could sing it. And I just remember it. That was 10 years ago now. It's mental, but yeah, I love such stuff. Amazing song. It's a banger. Honestly, I think it's an underrated song.
Yeah.
Come to find out, it's Robbie. So anyway, I was like, cool. This is cool. This is new. This is different. I don't remember who I was working for at the time, but again, just a new, fresh artist, different energy, different vibe. And and then so we've got this like band of misfits that's over from the UK. And it gets very different culturally as well. Like, we're all musicians, but because culturally there's different things, like there's a tea break. Like, they literally we have a tea break during rehearsals. That doesn't happen. Rehearsals start at like 10 and was like a hard out at 5. Like, it's a work day. I'm like, no, Americans, we rehearse from like 9 a.m. till 10 p.m., maybe 8 p.m. Like, it's a full day when you're preparing.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
The toys I play with, I didn't play with Tonka trucks like most other kids would. My toys were Robbie CDs, my dad's Robbie albums. He had to hide them away or else I'd get them out, zoom them across the floor. That was my idea of fun. And then a few minutes later, I'd be sad when I'd tried plonk it in the CD player and it wouldn't play anymore. Yeah. Oh, yeah, just... Yeah. When I think back to that age, all I think about is Robbie.
Right.
I'd bring my Robbie albums to kindergarten with me. I'd just shop with them one day. I'd be like, oh, what are these? Yeah. Yeah.
That's nuts.
I've got photos of them somewhere too. I'll have to dig them out.
Don't forget, you can check out our episode notes for each episode and links to all tracks and videos at robbiewilliamsrewind.com. You can also email us at email@robbiewilliamsrewind.com. Please also follow and chat on our social channels. It's at Rewind Robbie on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And you can also like and follow our Facebook page, Robbie Williams Rewind. You might also consider sending us one of your own Robbie stories for the show. Just record a short audio clip on your phone and email it to us. Please check the website for more details. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.